Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Branden here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Christina, and she's selling her subscription business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Christina, and how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Branden. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, it's really nice having you on the call today. I'm excited to talk to you about this business. But before we get started, just a quick general overview. It is a subscription business in the entertainment niche, and it was created in December 2015. The average monthly revenue for the business is $52,944 and makes an average of $8,511 per month in net profit. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 47588 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock the listing and start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, what's included in the sale is the domain and all site content and files, the trademark, email list with over 13,830 subscribers, social media accounts for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, supplier contracts and relationship, employee contracts as well. And so, Christina, can you tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Sure. This is actually kind of my first foray into the world of e-commerce. Prior to this, I actually was a veterinary nurse for most of my adult life, and then I had kids, and so I was looking for a way that I could make some money with more flexibility in my schedule so that I could stay home with my two kiddos. So I started kind of looking into the subscription model, and it piqued my interest. And I had some friends and family members who were very supportive and wanted to get on board with investing. And I started the business. I started working on it in December of 2015, and then we officially launched on Halloween of 2016. And it's just been growing leaps and bounds since then.
Awesome. And then so now being a subscription-based business, is most of it coming through affiliate offers or through your actual subscription that you're offering through the business itself?
So the bulk of the revenue comes from actual monthly boxes that we sell, yeah.
Okay. So 100% through the subscription boxes themselves then?
So we do most of our business with that, and then we do have overstock generally every month, and so we have a separate section on our website for individual item sales as well, and we do make a little bit of our money that way. But yeah, the bulk of it is repeat sales from people who have subscribed month to month.
Okay, perfect. And then so now, why did you choose to get into this specific niche? Was there something that stood out to you at the beginning phase, that had shown an opportunity to capitalize on?
Honestly, it was a personal passion. I have been a fan of this particular niche for a very long time. And at the time when I started working on it, the field was pretty much wide open. There wasn't really anybody else doing a subscription box within this niche. So it seemed like a kind of a perfect marriage of something that I really love and have been very involved in for a really large portion of my life, and also something that could potentially have been very profitable. So it turned out to be right.
Yeah, it's great. You're able to take a hobby and a passion that you have and turn it into this, amazing, business that offered this great potential, in the end. Now, why is it at this time then, with being so passionate about this business, Christina, that you're deciding to sell the asset?
Honestly, it is mostly an issue of just not having enough hours in the day to be a good mom to my two kids and also grow the business to the potential that I know it has. Being a mom is a full-time job in and of itself. And so on top of that, and one of my kiddos has special needs, and just with running the business on top of that, I just feel spread very thin and would like to kind of to pass the reins to someone else and see what happens.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. And, being able to let someone else carry on the torch of this business is also a great opportunity for someone as well. Now, was there anything that you plan on applying to future projects down the road that you learned while growing this business?
I didn't have a lot of experience in like website design at all prior to this. And actually, I put together the website entirely by myself. So I definitely learned a lot in that realm that I will probably apply to some future projects, and just building relationships with manufacturers and learning how to source materials. I feel like if I ever started another business that was kind of an e-commerce based or a like tangible product based business, I would have certainly a lot more useful information on how to actually go about doing that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And then was there anything that you tried with this business and it just didn't give you the ROI that you were expecting?
So there was one partnership. So twice a year, we partner with a charity. And one particular charity that we partnered with, we themed the box kind of around what their charity does. And it turned out not to be the biggest hit with everyone. So I think it was a little too niche. And I think that was where we kind of missed the mark on that. So definitely took a lot of great feedback from our subscribers on it and know what to do next time, so that we don't make the same mistake. But yeah, that was the one where I was like, I wish I'd done things a little bit differently that month. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, you can take those learning experiences and just apply it to further growth down the road. So it's always good to have a little bit of that feedback and data to build off of as well.
For sure.
Now, what is it that you're doing in terms of marketing and getting traffic to the site? Is it mostly organic search traffic, or are you doing a lot of paid advertising?
So we have actually run very little in the way of paid ads. We had a couple of very small Facebook campaigns for paid advertisement, but the bulk of our new subscribers actually come from our rep program. We have several YouTube and Instagram influencers who unbox our product, and they're each given a coupon code that's specific to their audience, which allows their customers to have a small discount to try their first box. And then we also pay our representatives a small commission on any new sales that come in through their coupons. So it's been a really great way to get more people looking at our product and trying it out. And then, we wow them and they stay. And so it's been a really great way for us to pick up new subscribers who stick around for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a really great model to have. And so would you almost say that it's an affiliate, your own personal affiliate network that you guys have created with this business that, is expanding upon that?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And then are you doing anything else as far as with your email list or anything else on the other social media platforms with that?
Yeah, so our email list at the beginning of the month when sales open for the new month. So we have a theme every month that we sort of curate our boxes around. And the newsletter will give people a reveal for the current month's theme, along with a spoiler for one of the items that they can expect to receive. So that entices people who haven't signed up for that month yet to jump on board. And then we also like to do a little teaser for the following month's theme. So we give a really zoomed in picture of something that, correlates to that theme. And then they get to spend some time thinking about and guessing what that theme might be. So it gets our current subscribers excited for what's coming down the pipe so that they'll stick around. And it also helps entice people who've signed up to our email list to maybe jump on board for the first time.
Okay, that's great. And then are you doing any other forms of email funnels or any other way of monetizing that email list, or just that at this time?
So far, that's all that I've had the time to do. Okay. There is definitely a huge opportunity for someone who really knows their way around marketing to really grow the business. So,
yeah, well, bringing that up, Christina, hypothetically speaking, if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways that you would try and grow it?
I would definitely concentrate a lot more on paid advertisements and on, like you said, getting more in depth with our email marketing. I think that those are two areas where I personally don't have those kinds of strengths. And so that was something that I was going to look into outsourcing this year before I chose to sell. And the other opportunity that I really see is just in scaling. We've bootstrapped this business. I started out with a $2,000 loan and have grown it into a $500,000 revenue company. And in doing that, though, because we were bootstrapping, we had to scale very intentionally. And so if someone can come in with a little bit more flexibility in what they can put out for new merchandise and could order several months ahead and set some really aggressive goals in terms of paid marketing and subscriber numbers, I think that the ability to scale the business a lot faster is certainly something that I would love to see someone else be able to do that I just haven't been able to manage.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of low-hanging fruit and opportunities for someone to come in and really scale the business, as you had mentioned. And can you just describe a little bit about, your typical daily tasks that you're performing on the business at this time?
Sure. So I currently still handle the customer service emails, which actually For the number of subscribers we have, which is around 1,000 a month right now, customer service emails actually don't take up that much of my time. It's usually about half an hour in the morning and then half an hour again in the evening. I also spend a little bit of time each day just kind of looking at our numbers, checking in and seeing how things are doing, running reports. And then I also facilitate our relationships so our box focuses on independent creators for our merchandise. So I spend a lot of time kind of browsing the internet to find new products and new artists that we can work with, reaching out to them, finding manufacturers for items that we create in-house. So just kind of reaching out and making those connections and setting up, new vendors and things like that. And then I also do the communication with our representatives as well. So if I need to communicate with them about an upcoming box or any talking points that we want for their next unboxing, typically once a week, I will reach out to them and kind of check in and give them that information if anything new has come up. So.
Okay. And then most of the logistics all handled as well through the manufacturer and the supplier?
So in terms of logistics, we have a 3PL who handles our actual inventory management, packing, and shipping. So I basically place the orders with our manufacturers or our vendors, and then those get shipped directly to the warehouse, and they handle the logistics of taking inventory, making sure that everything is, undamaged and ready to go. And then they actually pack and ship the boxes for us once a month.
No, it's good that you already have those systems in place that someone can come in. And do you feel that there's a specific skill set that a potential buyer should already have prior to acquiring this asset? Or do you feel it's something that can be learned over the course of the transition period?
I would say most of the skills can be learned over the course of the transition period. It should definitely be someone who's better at delegating than me. That is something that I have never been great at. So the ability to be able to hand things off to other people. The only other thing that I would say, because this is in a niche, just having some knowledge of the niche or being willing to take on someone else who has knowledge of that niche to make sure that what you're giving out is what our subscribers expect and what they want.
Yeah, that's important, as you mentioned, to note that doesn't necessarily require a specific skill, but also being aware of how, to manage others to do these smaller tasks is important. Now, what do you feel are maybe some of the potential risks that a buyer should be aware of with this business?
So I think that one of the things that people should know is that we have really staked our reputation on supporting independent creators. Because of that, we're kind of a quality over quantity type of box. And so I think that there could potentially be the temptation to spend less money, include less items, and it could potentially affect the quality of the box. So I would definitely caution anyone coming in to just be aware of kind of what our brand has established within this niche for ourselves and to try to stick to that as much as possible. So I think that's the biggest concern that I have for someone else coming in, is that they might be tempted to ratchet that back and potentially affect subscribership because they've come to expect a certain quality.
Yeah, it's good to experiment with certain things, but why, fix a wheel that's already been engineered to work well, or redesign a wheel, I guess you could say. So, yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying. And are you willing to commit to a non-compete, Christina? Meaning any other businesses or projects down the road, you'll stay out of this specific niche?
Yeah, I would be happy to. Honestly, I think sometimes monetizing something that you love can sort of affect how much you love it. And so I would love to get back to just loving it for what it is and not for what I can turn into a product, if that makes sense. So I would be happy to sign a non-compete if someone wanted me to.
Yeah, no, I completely understand you. And how much support are you willing to offer potential buyers? Are you going with the typical 30 days of email and Skype support, or did you have something in addition that you would like to add on to that?
So that I think is, the bare minimum that I'm willing to offer, but I can certainly go above and beyond that. I have toyed around with the idea of staying on in a creative role if someone wanted to have me on. As I said, I have been in this fandom for a very long time. And so if someone wanted to keep me on in a consulting role or potentially, have some more support down the line, that's certainly something that I'm willing to negotiate as well.
Yeah, it's great to hear. And then are you also open to negotiating something like an earnout where you'll receive a large portion of the sales price up front and then smaller payments closing out the deal a couple months after that?
Yes, I'm definitely willing to negotiate on that if that's something that a buyer wanted to discuss.
Okay, it's great to hear. Now, just a few more sideline questions for you, Christina. Is there anyone who inspired you while you were building this business that our listeners might like as well?
Gosh. I don't have a background in entrepreneurship, so the people who inspire me probably people that folks are going to know from that sort of end of things. And I I kind of feel like saying who my inspirations are will give away what the niche is, honestly.
Okay.
So I don't really know how to answer this question.
I gotcha. So other influencers within your marketplace, I guess we could say.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have a good answer for this.
Okay.
I am so sorry.
I mean, there's no wrong answer, so that's completely okay. What advice would you give to our listeners then that you wish you knew when you first started this business?
Keep normal business hours. Don't respond to emails at 10 o'clock at night when you are, trying to get your kids to go to sleep finally and, have 10 minutes to yourself. Definitely make sure that you have a good separation between work and life, because that's part of the reason that I need to get out of it, is just that I've blurred that line way too much. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just, operate your business and don't let it bleed too much into the rest of your life, to the point that you don't have a rest of your life.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that. It's good to set those boundaries between your work and life ratio. I mean, that's ultimately why we get into this, type of business, and this type of way of living, is to separate those a little bit easier, I guess, than some others. Now, was there any type of software or tools that really helped you at the start of building this business up?
So I will say we have actually been operating on the CrateJoy platform for our subscription box, which, for listeners who aren't familiar with it, CrateJoy is a back-end subscription platform. They handle all of our payment processing. They keep all of our customers' address and credit card information and all of their preferences on what t-shirt size they have and all that good jazz. So they have been very helpful in terms of just me not having to worry about the back end of things. So CrateJoy has been super helpful. We have been using SumoMe to grow our email list, and that has been very helpful. MailChimp is who we've done all of our email communications through, and I really like the fact that they integrate with CrateJoy, and so I can separate out my email list by people who are active subscribers, people who have canceled, et cetera, to really, if somebody really wanted to get in deep on the email marketing, they could retarget people, they could try to find people who have canceled and maybe try to win them back, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that MailChimp already smoothly integrates so well with CrateJoy has been a big help too.
Yeah, no, it's great having some of those extra metrics that you had mentioned, and, having that at the disposal and ready for someone to come in and really optimize is a great opportunity. Now, what was it that drove you and motivated you while you were growing this business then?
A lot of it was, like I said, the passion that I already had for this niche. And the other thing that has really motivated me has just been subscribers' responses to the things that we've put out. We've had some things that people have gotten very excited about, and it's always nice to see that they share your excitement. When you come up with a cool idea for a theme or a cool product, and then you put it out there and everybody is just as excited as you are, that I think has been my biggest motivation, is just seeing the joy and the excitement that it brings to the people who love our box so much. So.
Yeah, no, definitely building up that community. And, on the subject, did you guys also have a community group as well with Facebook?
Yes, we do.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, building up that community is definitely really important. As you had mentioned, having that fan base and, them always paying attention to your content and what you're putting out next, and really important in this sense as well. And, why do you think that this business model specifically is great for those who might be interested in getting started in the online business space?
The recurring revenue, I think, was a big draw for me when I initially looked at subscription boxes, because, like thinking about our rep program, if it costs me, $4 or $5 to get them in the door and then they stay subscribed for a year, it's a very low cost of acquisition for a recurring stream of revenue. So I think that is probably, at least for me, was the biggest draw to subscription boxes, knowing that if I can hook them and I can impress them, I can keep that revenue stream from that person for a long time.
Yeah, no, building up the lifetime value of your customers is really important, not to just have a quick sale, over a one night thing, but having the longevity is important for, building up that business. So that's great, Christina. So that pretty much wraps up the call. Was there anything else that you'd like to add that I might have missed?
No, I don't think so. I think that about covers everything.
Okay. And then just final question for you, Christina, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think that this business is worth buying?
I think that, it's already profitable. And I think that if someone came in with the right skill set and could really scale it, I think that there is a lot of potential for it to grow and become even more profitable. And it's also a fun job. Like, I have greatly enjoyed the 5 years that I have spent working on this project. And I think that especially if the person who purchases it is into this niche, it could be a really, really fun job for someone as well. There's a lot of room for creativity. And like I said, just interacting with the customers and seeing how they get so excited about these things that you're coming up with. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, potential buyers open this listing up and they can check out the details and really see the value you've added to this asset. I'm sure you'll get, plenty of interested buyers, scheduling calls here in the near future. So thank you very much, Christina. I really appreciate you coming on the call today, and we'll be talking to you here in the distant future.
Thanks, Brandon. I really appreciate it. It was great talking to you.
All right, you too, Christina. Thank you so much. And all right, everyone. So thanks for listening. To learn more and to see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 47588. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.